Instagram. We do not have our feed up yet on the computer, so we are getting that up right now. But it's so great to see you all today on Monday. I'm Darcy Struble here at String and Story, and HollyAnne's grabbing a bunch of stuff, and she's going to bring it over in just a minute.
I'll be there in just a sec. Maybe you can hear me. It depends if the things decided to connect or not.
We have AirPods, so we're hoping that this is working. Let us know how the sound is.
Wow, y'all were ready. We already have 13 folks on with us.
Hooray! Yay! Okay, there we go. So we are here tonight. We're going to be talking about the Astra quilt, which is right behind me, and Katie's going to pop in and chat with us, which is going to be so much fun. And I am looking for her right now. Okay, so tell me where you're all tuning in from. I want to know. Sounds great. Yay! Thank you, Rian. Oh, how did your shirt go? Are you done yet? Let's see. Yes, where are we watching from? It says watching from. What do we have? What do we have? We are live here in Duluth, Georgia.
Duluth. We have so many fun kits to show.
We do.
Oh gosh, I'm so excited.
Watching from a quilt retreat in Michigan. That sounds amazing.
I love that. Are your quilting friends
know.
watching with you? That's the second thing I want.
You know what HollyAnne just said? She said your quilts match your shirt, your outfit matches your quilt. And it does, I know. HollyAnne said that when we started. I'm in a little bit of a fall mood today because it got slightly, I'm not going to say cold. It's 80 degrees, but it's colder than it has been.
It is cooler than it has been.
Let's see. Still making adjustments for Rian. Toddler derailed my sewing time. Oh no! Yes, toddlers do that. I understand. I get that from a deep place. So, hello everyone! It's so great to see you! And it looks like Katie has just joined.
Yay!
So she should be popping on in just a second. Does she ask us to
Katie, try requesting to, I probably have to do it from the phone. That's why you can't see it.
Okay, yeah, I can't see it from here, but I'm assuming HollyAnne's popping
Ba,
around to
ba,
see.
ba.
Hold on 1 second. Jim Struble, hi Jim. My father-in-law made all these awesome,
Request to join, Katie, and then I can add you.
yeah, my father-in-law made us a bunch of bolt holders. One of them looks like an Aurifil thread. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. He's on. I said hi to Jim.
Aw, Jim, hi.
Okay, let's see. Just there on Saturday for a free motion quilting class. I've been practicing. It is so much. Absolutely a blast. I am obsessed. And I've been free motion quilting nonstop since then.
Hi.
We have Katie. Hello. Yes. It's working.
It's working. Our master plan here. Can you guys hear me?
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, can we see where the screen is frozen on our end? Hold on 1 second. We're refreshing.
Yeah, it took me a second to connect.
Okay. Oh, yay. There we go.
Everyone, jump in the chat again because it disappeared when I hit replay. And I want to be able to see you. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Katie, this is so exciting. So welcome. Please introduce yourself. I can't, HollyAnne, I can't hear you very well.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Darcy's running the show.
Okay,
Darcy,
I'm running the show tonight, apparently. So will you introduce yourself for us and for everybody that's here?
Yeah, of course. Well, thanks for having me. First and foremost,
I'm so excited.
Katie Zahm, Zahm Cohen's maiden name. I actually got married back in November. I haven't legally changed my name, so I am still Katie Zahm, though I'm transferring to Katie Offiero soon. So if you see Offiero at the end of my name, that's what's going on there.
That's what happened.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you. I was lucky enough to test Katie's Astra pattern that just came out, and it was so much fun. And I've made 2 versions since then. So, you know, we're having a wild, crazy time putting together fun, new ideas for like colorways and just, I don't know, we've really been enjoying it.
Yeah. I think that you must have the mic, and that's why no one can hear me. So I'll just yell at you when I talk.
That sounds lovely.
Should we start the show and tell of all the kits we have, and then we'll have Katie share about the quilt along?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Okay, so we have a few things we want to show you guys. We have the patterns here in stock, and Katie also has it's up there, sorry. We have the patterns here in stock, and Katie also has the digital version on her website if you are interested in the digital version. And then we do have some more of the Daphne bundle. We have 2 more Daphnes, which I used here. We do not have any more of the background color. However, we have some other options that would be great. And if you have any questions about them, feel free to ask, but we will tell you a few names. We have linen, which would look lovely. I'll tell you, the inspiration here was Daphne from Bridgerton. Well, it was just Bridgerton in general. The Daphne was just the name I picked. So when I picked the background, I just looked through all the different skin tones that they had on the show. So any skin tone from the show, dark, light, medium, whatever, would work beautifully with this bundle, in my opinion. So we have linen, we have old gold, and then this one is curry. So there's some lovely options for you if you still want to do the Daphne. Okay, I'm coming back over.
So we don't have this exact bundle, but if you want to create a very similar quilt, we recommend getting the Daphne bundle and then pairing it with the background you need. This size, you need 4 yards.
Yes.
So, pro tip. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
Darcy did such a great job. It's fantastic and beautiful.
Thank you so much, Katie. That means a lot. Okay, so HollyAnne's pulling down the second version that I made, which is with the Monica bundle here. And it is 6 different colors of the fat quarters or half yards here. And then we have a light blue background and then a lovely woven for the backing. Backing? Did I say that right? I did. I always mix up background and backing. Oh, I'm coming.
All of these kits include a spool of Oracle thread, so it's basically in everything but the batting kit, and then the option for the pattern to be included as well. So you're literally just like ready to rock and roll.
Yes, and we have 1 throw size and we have 2 baby size in stock. And then we have 1 throw size, we have 2 baby. Oh, I'm hearing an echo. Do you hear an echo? Weird. Okay. Okay, so we put together 2 other kits we want to show. So we have this one. This is the Santa Fe bundle, and we use the Sprouts wovens here as like the all the little bits and pieces, and then the background is this lovely like tealy blue green color.
So this is like an inverse of this one.
Yep, it would be an exact opposite of what you see here. Super fun. And then our last one.
This one is not even in the shop yet. This will go in the shop after our live.
The woven ones, those are all the texture, right? The
yes,
texture
they have
fabric.
a little.
Background.
Yeah.
Background is a regular
So the background, so that would be a really interesting like texture too, to have the solid background.
That'd be really fun.
Yeah, so fun to sew. So then this is the last one we pulled, and it has a bunch of different prints mixed in. This is the Alyssa fat quarter bundle, and then we just did a solid pale pink for the background, and then the backing is this pattern that we pulled from one of the fat quarters. So, okay. All right, HollyAnne.
So show and tell. All of these except for that Alyssa bundle are available on the website, and Alyssa will get up as soon as we're done here. We have, let's see, 2 of the Santa Fe, 2 of the baby Monica, 1 throw Monica, 2 Daphne bundles, and I think just 1 of the Alyssa. So if you want to be sneaky, you could DM me and claim the Alyssa before it even hits the shop. Just saying. But from here, I would love for Katie to share with us. Katie, share with us about the quilt along, how people can jump in, what you're hoping like everyone really takes away from these like coming weeks together. And then after those kind of logistical things, I would love to know about the inspiration behind this quilt.
Yeah, love to. Thanks, HollyAnne. Thanks, Darcy. So the pattern, I'll kind of just briefly touch on the first page. It really does talk about the inspiration. So back in November, okay, so even today, my husband is really into space, y'all. He waited for NASA to give their announcement for like an hour and a half. I was like, anyways, he leads the charge when it comes to that, which I'm kind of excited because I get to always like jump in when it's fun, and he sits there and waits for everything. So when you can see Jupiter and Saturn, when they were next to each other, I think it was November, we went everywhere around Denver. And Denver is Mile High city, so it's high in itself, but we were going to even like higher places within the city, outside the city, getting the right time and bringing the binoculars and kind of just venturing out and looking for this, or getting like the best look for the planets. So that's kind of where the inspiration came. I've always loved the Sawtooth Star. Has always been my favorite block of mine. I love making flying geese. If you're
Me too. Yeah.
I might be a very rare breed when it comes to making flying geese because I do love them. But yeah, that's a little bit of the background. My initial design of it was the traditional where every block was the same. I have it here. Hopefully don't knock everything down. So I'm sure most folks are familiar with this photo, but this quilt right here.
We're getting a little bit, hold on. Yeah, we have a little bit of a delay, but it is beautiful. The traditional version is so lovely.
That was my original design, and then I ventured out, if you will. And I had great testers, and Darcy, you were like wonderful of just like even expanding the imagination of what the quilt can bring. And you know, the mix and match of the modern has been there, but even mixing it further, if you will, and really just kind of making it your own, and you just kind of shed a different light on it, which I thought was wonderful, including the what I call a burnt orange. It just, I'm like, oh my gosh, I would have never used, I know we talked about this before, but I would have never used that as a background, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, and it's so fun to like kind of, especially that's one of the great things I think working at a quilt shop is being able to like kind of push some of those boundaries, because it's something like at home I would probably play it a little more safe if I'm like buying all my, I mean I did buy all this fabric, but I'm staring at fabric all day, and so like my brain is constantly thinking through like what's another unusual thing I could do. So I think that has helped a lot, is just being here staring at stuff.
Yeah.
Darcy for like buying all this fabric to make herself a quilt and then letting me hang it on the wall.
I did. I bought all this for me, and then I put it on my couch for a minute, and then HollyAnne's like, can we hang it in the shop? And I'm like, yes, that's fine.
I have like some friends in Atlanta because I'm from that area, and I'm texting them. I'm like, you guys gotta go there. String and Story, look it up. Here are their hours. Like,
and whenever you come back down to visit, you're gonna have to stop in and have a whole day with us. So we are demanding some of your time.
I am already planning it. I mean, I know QuiltCon's in Atlanta. Yes, sure, but I'm already like, when can I come? Because QuiltCon's just gonna be mad crazy anyways, right? So I'm like, when can I come before that, even just to hang out with you two?
Yes, QuiltCon's gonna be so fun, and we can't wait to see you then too. We will have a booth at QuiltCon for everybody watching. That's gonna be very exciting. HollyAnne will be teaching a lot of classes, and I will be in the booth pretty much 24/7. So you can pop by and see me, maybe catch an eye of HollyAnne. Maybe she'll be teaching. We'll see.
We'll have
we'll have a
well, I saw you guys last year in Phoenix at QuiltCon. You guys had
I get a chance to meet you, Katie, and it's like blending in for me. Like, did we meet?
No.
I don't know if you can hear Holly. Okay, yeah, you can hear her. Good.
No, we didn't officially meet. I mean, it was like a quick chat, but it wasn't. I didn't like introduce myself or anything.
Okay, I was like, I'm gonna feel real bad.
No, so I'm sure you met a ton of people.
I did meet a lot of people.
But yeah, so for the quilt along itself, if you haven't joined, there's still time. As you see, HollyAnne and String and Story, you know, they have tons of bundles left. We're just getting started with still picking out your fabric this week. Obviously, the fun thing about quilt along is you can kind of jump ahead or fall behind, and you know, it's all okay.
There's no grades at the end.
Or be like Darcy, and you just like, man, you just push through these quilts like nothing. I'm so impressed how fast you make stuff.
I'm a pretty fast piece. I'm a pretty fast piecer.
She's a sweetie. I was telling someone today, I was like, Darcy's great at getting samples done. I'm the bottleneck because I quilt a lot of them.
Yeah, that's true. I finished it. Well, I mean, not calling you a bottleneck. Whoops. In public. But I finished thinking like, here you go, quilt this.
You guys make a great team. A great team. Yeah.
We have a lot of fun. Maybe too much fun.
The limit does not exist.
The limit does not exist. That's true.
I disagree.
So how long does the quilt along run?
It's 6 weeks.
Okay.
And there are like no breaks. I know some people put like a week to like catch up. But it's just 6 weeks. For the second week, for next week, we'll do cutting and we'll make your first block. And then so like on week 5, you make one less block than the other one. So that's kind of a catch up if you need it. But no, also when you make your blocks, I wanted to throw this out there. First off, when you like high level tips, as HollyAnne like suggested, when you cut your fabric, it says it in there, but just to reiterate, to cut the bigger pieces first, especially if you're using the printed pattern. It's not all written out that way. So just make sure you cut the bigger pieces first and then the smaller ones, because you'll use some of that leftover, like 6 inches or 3 inches, and you'll cut some 2.5-inch squares or something like that.
She's like you. She's
Yes.
really thrifty.
I am also, I love fabric conservation. It's one of my favorite things, is cutting things like as thriftily as possible. So I loved reading your instructions on cutting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I have like a
I did. There was a lot of
guide
gushing.
on the website you can download. I don't know if you saw that. Because 4 yards,
no.
if you're making a throw, 4 yards can be a little intimidating, especially if you're a little newer to the quilting world. So it kind of helps you on how all those subcuts can.
It's also a giant throw. Like, it makes sense that there's 4 yards that needs to go into that. Like, she brought this in and I was like, that's huge. It's amazing.
It's a very nice snuggly quilt. I'm going to repeat what HollyAnne said for anyone that can't hear her very well. She said it's a giant throw, so it makes sense that there's 4 yards. And it's really like a good snuggle quilt. I snuggled with both of my kids on the couch underneath this, and everybody fit. It was great. No fighting over blankets. We love that.
I know. In fact, my neck, so both, like, most of my patterns have, the throws are massive. Some people would even call it a bed size. But
yeah.
Is your husband really tall? Like, is your spouse really tall?
Say that one more time.
Oh, she said, is your husband really tall? Is your spouse really tall?
No.
No. We were wondering.
I think I just like to, like,
6'2".
wrap myself up multiple times. Well, I moved to Denver after living in the South for so long, so I feel like I get colder than someone else.
You wear a quilt as a cape all the time.
Yeah, like triple wrap it around myself.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so what other questions do we have about the quilt along?
What other tips does she have?
Oh yeah, what other tips? Yeah.
Pieces first.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Like
Cut
geese.
the
What makes
bigger
you like geese?
Yeah, cut the bigger pieces first. We'll make the first block. If you follow, along, I guess, if you will, don't jump ahead. We'll do the first block, and then we'll make 4 blocks after that. And I prefer, everyone has my way. I like to do, 2 or 3 blocks at a time, and I like to break it out into the section that I wrote the pattern in. So, like, make the center square, and then make all my flying geese, and then make my corners, and then put it together. That's my kind of way. And also, chain piecing is actually kind of new to me, but I've gotten better at it, and that's a different way to also then incorporate chain piecing and kind of, I feel like, make your sewing faster.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of it. I think making the first block and kind of finding your rhythm there and making your blocks it will help you.
Yes. Okay. So do you have any, 1 second. Somebody asked, missed the beginning, when and where is the quilt along? Can you give us information on, like, where to find the online version for all the folks here?
Yeah, sure. Everyone's welcome online, and luckily you guys are doing a live today, which is great. Thank you. If you're local here in Denver, we are meeting up every Saturday morning at Wooden Spools from 9 to 10. But for majority of us who are online, if you just click on my website, there's a link on Instagram. There's links everywhere to enroll into it. And then right now I have it, so you'll get an automated email to kind of get you caught up on my welcome note, caught up on the first email, and then you'll just kind of dive in with everyone else and get them every Saturday morning. To enter the weekly giveaways, we'll have 6 with a grand prize. I'll tell you about that. And then just post the assignment, if you will, which is written in the blog very clearly, the due date with the hashtag Astra Quilt, SAL for so long.
Love that. And then for anybody else who's just joined, Katie has her patterns on her website as well, and she has digital and paper, and we also carry the paper version. It is so dreamy. I mean, this, like, the paper that you chose is phenomenal, Katie. We are obsessed. Like, we flipped through it 100 times. It's matte. It just feels so nice. It has a really good hand to it.
Thank you. Yeah,
I'm kind of in love.
Thank you. I've tried out a few of them, and I really like thickness. I like it's still a little bit been flexible, but it's pretty thick. And then as you saw, that last page spread is like the dots and the rule lines.
Yes, I love it. Let me pull that up. I love anything with that. That makes me so excited.
That so you can actually write on it, because if I put a gloss on it, it would have been harder to write on it. So.
Oh yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah, I love that you have a little place for that, because I like to be able to kind of sketch things out or draw it or write in notes to myself like, oh, this time I did this and I liked it, or yeah, here's the colors I picked for my thing this time.
Yeah, or like whatever color. Mm-hmm.
And for everybody that is asking, we will put Katie's website in the stories after. So we'll be able to link to it.
Profile, but they'll be on my stories.
Yeah, they're on her profile, and they'll be in on String and Stories.
Yeah.
String and Stories. Okay, we have some more questions. What was it? What was the next question? Pressing tips. Yes. Yes, we have some thin little bits. Can you give us some pressing tips?
I can't say one more time.
Do you have any pressing tips for like some of the thin little bits?
Oh, yeah. So I prefer to finger press first.
Okay.
Then I don't use steam. I don't know if you guys use steam. I don't use steam. I do use Best Press spray.
We both do the same head things.
I know you
sometimes.
do. I'm telling you, you're a great team.
We're in sync.
Yeah. So I finger press first, and then I do use Best Press and just like, press on your iron like this. That's kind of how I do it. 9 times out of 10, I open my seams and press.
Okay.
You didn't for these.
No.
Darcy did it a little differently.
Yeah, I followed the instructions, and some of them said open and some said press to the side. So I did the ones that I pressed the ones open. I like to follow the rules, and HollyAnne likes to break the rules. So this is the other reason why we're like a good team. We have a back and forth between follow and break. So I did press open the ones that said so in the pattern.
And then these are to the side.
Yep.
So, cool.
It helped make everything nice and flat towards the end too, when the seams were getting bulkier.
Yeah, and I think I wrote it that way to either help mesh seams together when that time came, or try to make it less bulky. So, press open.
Yes, definitely.
But definitely for those little ones, I always press first with my finger on a hard surface and then take it to the iron. Have you guys ever used the wool mats yet? Those are amazing.
Yes, we keep one up by the sewing machine, so we can sew and then turn and then press and then keep going.
That's perfect setup. I love that.
Yeah, it's a high level of intensity here.
Yeah.
You have to be efficient.
Yeah, efficiency is key to make 7 quilts in a month.
You're wild.
Bundles. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Amy made my quilt. I just got fabric.
We love that too. We do lots of things here.
Yeah, definitely. One other thing, there are different ways outside of what the pattern says to make it. Again, all of this jazz, once you get your email signed up, you'll get all of this information. But there's the 2 color block way. There's a 2 color quilt way. Scrappy folks make, which is really easy with like the pillow size, because I actually give like a scrap specific measurement for those. But I'm doing the 2 colorway for the blocks, and so I'm using this fabric I posted online today. It's the Riley Blake design fabric. So each block, so my background is going to be this black throughout.
I love that.
And then each block is going to have the same color, and it's going to have like a soft pink, dark pink. So each block then is going to have these different colors.
Oh, that's going to be so pretty.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about that. So I kind of like Darcy, I've made multiple of all the other versions, and I'm ready to try something new.
I know now when you said 2 color, I'm like, ooh, my brain starts spinning again. I'm like, wait a second, I've got some ideas.
Yeah.
So maybe, we might be about to see another version.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
I know this would be like in like just like some subtle like pale colors that just it has almost that sparkle like we're just a few shades off of each other. It could be really nice.
Yeah,
My wheels are turning. So
yeah, I love that. I love that. Yeah, so again, just kind of repeating myself here, folks have joined who are new.
Oh, and HollyAnne's wheels are turning too. Okay, yes, repeat yourself, sorry. We have this
oh, wow, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay, so for everybody that's new and popped on, repeat yourself and introduce yourself again.
Sure. Hi guys, I am Katie of Zahm Co. Katie Zahm. Zahm's my maiden name. Just got married back in November. Thanks for joining us. We're talking all things Astra, which is my latest quilt design. I just kicked off a quilt along on Saturday. So feel free to join. My website's www.zahm, Z-A-H-M, as a Mary.co, C-O.
And we'll be seeing HollyAnne's version popping up. She will be doing the quilt along. I've done 2 versions, and so she has just. Are you picking out your fabrics?
I'm on the fence about my fabrics.
She's on the fence about her fabrics.
We'll see what I end up with. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Well,
I'm gonna, be here to help her walk her through.
Yeah,
like she needs
definitely.
me.
I don't know.
You're an expert,
You're
Darcy.
cutting. Yeah, you are. At this point.
You're an expert. Hey, if folks are having any difficulty, I did put a variety of versions and sizes on Quilting.
Oh yes.
You guys have tried that, and they do have the PBS fabrics, the painter's palette, as an option.
Yes, we noticed that. So we pulled it up and we made a mock-up of this one just so we could see what it looked like with basically the opposite of this, where it has the dark, the blue on the background and then kind of the orangey pinks inside of for all the little pieces. Yeah. And so that's on the website because we were just like, we just want to play around with it and see. And that quilt ink is so much fun.
It's awesome, right? It saves so much time too.
Yes. And was it hard to get your pattern? What kind of work did you have to do to have your patterns put up there? I feel like it's going to be a lot of work for the designer, right?
It was a little bit of upfront work, but the owner of the company, she is fantastic and very helpful. So I had a little bit of trouble of, how to set it up. But once he kind of got going, it was cool. And you can definitely set rules behind it. As you guys messed with it, you probably could see the traditional has rules to keep, the same fabric in the same area, where the modern is just kind of more open. And then I didn't really put any restrictions on it because so many different people had their ways, and that's the beauty of this quilt, of all the possibilities that I love. So I kind of kept it out there, but it wasn't too bad. But thanks for asking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could totally mix and match, all, one star could be totally different colors within that, which could be a fun look too.
Yeah, definitely.
Lots of options.
Mitzi asked what I'm thinking about using. So I know that I'm going to try to speak up so y'all can hear me on Darcy's mic. For those of you who have not seen me mention this in the chat, we're using AirPods today to try to help with the echo. But what we didn't think about was that only Darcy has a mic. So bear with us. There should be auto captions on the replay that will help with some of this. But to show you what I'm hoping to use, I really want to use Lauren Leslie's Belize with some solids mixed in. But I'm going to have to get creative about how I cut it apart. But these colors, I'm obsessed. So I want to fussy cut some little bits in the center and
get little tigers in the center?
Yeah, little tiger faces.
That's going to be
so cute.
Oh, very cute.
So, that's, from what I can see right now, that's beautiful. I love that. I don't want to zoom in on my face and then everyone gets a close up on my face. So I'm going to have to watch this later and then zoom in.
I know, we're gonna all wait anxiously while we wait for HollyAnne to post her color polls.
Yeah, I love that, HollyAnne.
It's awesome.
So is that what she's leaning towards, or is that what she's definitely going with? Okay.
That's what she's leaning towards.
I think there's a high likelihood I'll use it because I've been in love with this fabric all summer, and I just need to think through what I'm fussy cutting where, because I'm gonna have to be really mindful about that when I'm doing the cutting, because I think the only way to make some of those little tigers and bits work will be to fussy cut it.
Yeah.
You can hear that?
A little bit.
A little
I
bit,
understood
okay.
about the
Yeah.
tigers. I got the tiger
Yeah,
part.
she said she's just gonna have to think through for the fussy cutting. I'm just translating for everybody out there. How many fat quarters are in this? This is the flat stack. This is what it comes like. So it's like and there are 13, which is perfect actually for the throw size.
I'll probably mix some solids in too, because I know that they're
Yeah.
the ones that I won't.
And she
cut
said
from
she'll
the
mix
way.
some solids in just to, you know, just in case there's some that, yeah, make it really extra scrappy and fun. So we love that.
Yeah, that's great. You guys are so cool.
Yay. Well, you know, we try.
We do extra.
We're so
Yeah.
we try. Yes. So this
This
one,
is only 12. You need one more.
this is what I was saying. Like I was thinking something like very, you know, you could do like a very tonal, like that would be really pretty. This one's 12, she said, but
Yeah.
it's really nice.
Definitely.
We're just pulling stuff now. This is what we do. We wander around and we pull fabric out and we're like, look at all this stuff.
Drown in possibility.
I
we
made a baby size one. Again, you guys have seen this online, I'm sure. But I just love
yes,
it.
we've been following. Following all the hashtags.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Yes. The babies, the Monica.
But
that
I
made
was gonna
also
say,
baby size.
Yeah, this
It
one
goes so
has the
fast.
stripe. This one had the stripe fabric. And so
Yes.
the fat quarter like cut diagram is it definitely will help you with the directional fabrict. I think if you're really, really particular, like these right angle corners aren't going to be exact, but I think it's so small that it's like, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
But I'm all into directional fabric and helping it make it work. And so I think it's good, in my opinion.
The background color is gorgeous. Yes. What color is that?
It's called Cabernet, I think.
Cabernet. Okay. It's so pretty. I mean, it really like makes the like kind of pastel colors in there.
Yeah,
just like pop and sing.
It's by Ruby Star Society. I know that, but
Okay.
it's like that exact one. But it's
This is Claire at HollyAnne just holds. She's like, this
No,
is similar.
HollyAnne, it looks just like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yay. Oh, so good.
I think.
I love that baby one.
Yeah, it's really soft too, but that's the fabric that I have on it.
Oh, it does look just right. Look at that.
we're getting the delayed feed on the computer here, and the bolt popped up, and HollyAnne's like, that does look just right.
I love it.
That's
Pat.
What questions do all of y'all watching have?
Yes. What questions does everybody watching have? And we will be able to answer some of your questions. Katie, when did you move from Atlanta to Denver? Denver, correct? Yeah.
Denver, yeah. I lived in Denver for 5 years, but I actually I had one more stop before that. So before I lived in Phoenix for 7 years, and then I moved to Denver. But
that sounds like fun.
I went to Roswell High School. You guys remember?
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So we lived in Roswell, and I lived in the South for a long time.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And you went to high school here, correct? Yes, but you lived here.
Yeah, I would have.
She lived in Duluth growing up, so that's cool.
3 miles.
Cool. Okay, let's see. I'm seeing no questions yet, but we are still a little delayed on our end, video end here. So we're going to scroll back up and just check for any questions really fast.
Yeah.
And this video will also be ported over to YouTube. I don't know if we have mentioned it. I think HollyAnne maybe has mentioned it, but HollyAnne and I are going to start going live on YouTube at 10:30 on Thursday mornings, and that will start in August. So this will be like some of these YouTube videos. So we'll have just a few more of these YouTube or Instagram lives on Monday nights, and then we'll be transferring all of this over to YouTube on Thursday mornings. So we hope to see a lot of you guys there. And then a lot of these last few ones will be porting over to YouTube, so you can watch it again there too.
We'll caption this one to make sure that everyone can hear me.
And she said, we'll caption this one to make sure that that HollyAnne's being heard. So, if you guys have any questions, I'm still looking. But yeah, we're really excited about that. We love getting to like chat and hang out with everybody, and like getting the opportunity to talk to Katie is so much fun.
Yes.
And I've been working with Katie, just testing for her and like getting to like message her and stuff. And so getting to like chat with you in person is amazing. I'm having a great time.
It is right back at you. No, I really enjoyed it. Thanks for having me. I did mention real quick before I forget, the grand prize. So, week 6 will be our biggest one, and HollyAnne has generously offered a free seat to her Free Motion Quilting Academy. And it like blew
Oh my goodness.
mind. I'm like, this is so rad. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. I am super excited for everyone involved. That's huge.
And for those who don't know, Free Motion Quilting Academy will be enrolling its 10th cohort in August. So this is part of our celebration of 10 cohorts, but it's also perfect timing for anyone else who's participating in the quilt along. If you are not our lucky winner, we would still love to see you inside the academy this fall.
Yes, and what a great way to like wrap up the quilt along, because
like Darcy,
you can quilt your own. I took the intro to free motion, and this is the first quilt that I ever quilted on my own for free motion quilting. I've done walking foot quilting up until then. So
that's huge.
So much fun.
That's awesome.
We can't wait to see
I
everybody.
missed that though. HollyAnne, Darcy, can you repeat? Did she say when it started or when you can start enrolling?
The 18th of August.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yay!
That's
And that'll
great.
be early bird special then, right?
Yes. There'll be an early bird special for the weekend.
Yep, early bird special for the weekend. If you're so excited and you're ready to jump in.
And it's virtual, right?
It close.
Yes.
Yes, it's virtual.
Perfect.
Hang on.
Which is lovely because that means we get to like chat with all of you guys in there.
Yeah.
HollyAnne's popping up. We did have one good question, which we'll go back to in just a second. She's going to check the dates on when it officially starts. Okay, 18th through 27th is the enrollment. And we kick off class right after Labor Day. I feel like a mockingbird. Okay, so the question, do the cutting instructions include extra for trimming?
Like trimming
The half square triangles or the flying geese, I guess.
Yes. Excellent question. Yes, it does. There is a little bit of wiggle room for both of those.
So how did you come to love flying geese? We do this for geese, by the way. We don't know, because one time I was like, I'm making, and it was geese. HollyAnne's like, I don't know what that means. Anyway, continue. How did you come to
No, you're fine. While you guys are doing your geese dance, I was thinking, I think one of my earlier quilts had them. So I started quilting, I was introduced in quilting in high school, just like a quick background. And I got a sewing machine and I did some sewing within high school. But then I went to college and then I lived through my 20s and basically lived in apartments for a long time. And it's really hard to like sew. If you do sew in a small place, like big kudos to you because it's very challenging for me. But over the last like 2 years is when I started Zahm and like really just sewing and quilting for majority of my weekends and things. I think one of my earlier quilts had flying geese in it. I just like it. I like the construction of them. I don't know.
I always feel like, especially when you do like the big ones, it feels like magic to me. Like it's like quilting magic. Like you like sew these lines and you cut everything up and suddenly you have a goose.
We spend too much time together.
we do spend too much time together with our geese.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You know, I've had some feedback that the corners of the log cabins, I don't know, have given just a little bit of trouble, but I think it's just strip sewing and maybe alternating the way you push it, gently glide through your machine.
Yes.
Things like that. My first couple ones, and I think this is when we make the first block, I'll talk a little bit more about it, but kind of maybe measuring as you go if you're finding difficulty with it. Again, some of these tips may take a little bit longer, or I can't remember if I think I said during that one, I don't think I have to press open, but if you are getting it wonky, sometimes in my opinion, and you guys can chime in, like when you press open, it also may help. But I'll talk more about that when we get to the week one.
If it's coming up short.
Yes. I just remember really taking a lot of time on these, like intentionally, like just knowing they were going to be a little bit. That was definitely the longest part of the process for me. Was doing the little square pieces
There's
here.
not a lot of margin for error not a lot of margin for error. So it's really important that even like if you're like me and you're not normally super scant on your 1/4 inch, like sew these scantly because you're losing valuable real estate with every press.
So if you can hear, I don't know if you can hear that.
Yeah.
She said if you're not a super scant quarter incher, be super scant during that part of the process, just to give yourself a little bit of wiggle room. Let's see, we had one other question, a comment. Okay, so the quilt behind Darcy and HollyAnne has a Native American feel to me. I have a nephew who's half Native American, so I'm thinking about making it for him. And you're not sure what colors to choose. So that's great because we have the colors. So if you like the colors we have, this is the Daphne bundle here. This is the colors that I used within here. And then the background, we are out of this exact color, but we have some great color matches that would look really nice if you want something. If you wanted a little lighter, but I wouldn't recommend that for what you're saying. But if you are just a person in here that likes lighter, linen is lovely. Here are two that are similar in color to this. This is obviously lighter and yellower. This is a little bit darker, but very lovely. That would be gorgeous.
Oh, yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
That would be gorgeous. What is that one?
Canyon.
Canyon. Okay.
So a Daphne bundle plus 4 yards of
Yeah.
canyon.
So that would be Daphne bundle and 4 yards of cannon. This is the throw size. Canyon. I said cannon?
You did.
I did. I meant canyon. I meant canyon.
I'm in love with that.
That is
That's
really
so
pretty.
great.
Yeah.
That's
So
gorgeous.
that's what we would recommend
Gorgeous
here
lady.
if you are looking to kind of emulate the feel of that. Let's see, or imitate, I guess, the feel of that. I'm using all kinds of crazy words here. Canon when I'm not supposed to. Let's see. Andrea Hyatt says, I did a great job free motion quilting. Thank you so much. And you will too. I promise. She says, you hope to complete mine this year. You will. I promise. And you're going to do a great job. Okay. You two are Ethel and Lucy. Hair. All right.
Well, shall we wrap up our evening?
Yeah, that's good.
Katie, thank you so much for being here with us. You're going to have to repeat all this. Just
Okay.
Katie, thank you so much for being here with us. Y'all, if you are here, before you go, make sure that you click on String and Story and hit follow, click on Zomco and hit follow so that you can stay in touch with both of us. But then make sure you head over to Katie's website, Zahm, ZAHM.co. Get registered for this quilt along, and then from there, head over to stringandstory.com, pick out your kit, and jump in on this amazing sew along.
Yay! Okay, and I'm going to repeat that for everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here. Katie, thanks so much for joining us. If you are here and you don't follow String and Story already, please follow. We're excited to have you. And will you also please go follow Zomco, follow Katie. She's lovely. And you can go over to her website. It's zahm.co, ZAHM.co. And you can sign up for her emails and you can jump right into this quilt along. We still have some kits on the site live. So please check it out. We'd love to have you guys sew with us. It's so much fun. And I know Katie would too. What else was there?
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yay.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Bye. Oh, it was so fun. Bye. Have a
Bye.
great night.
You too.